Hey, I'm Scott, I'm an American, and I am in Bangkok. And today I'm going to talk about the 14 golden rules. 14 of my golden rules for men visiting or living in Thailand. And although these rules are common sense, and one would think that men know better to break these rules, they're broken all the time because common sense is in short supply, especially when it comes to men in Thailand interacting with women. These are not only prostitutes I'm referring to, I'm talking about all women. So let's get right to it, shall we? All right, rule number one, and I'm sure that if you've listened to my podcast or watched my videos, you've heard this rule before. Number one, do not get emotionally involved with a bar girl. And by bar girl, that means prostitute. Could be a massage parlor girl who's been given happy tugs, suck and wang, whatever it might be. Could be the go-go dancer. Could be, some little cutie that's the welcome girl that sneaks off after work and goes to bang some guy for a little bit of extra money. But, it's the chicks who are willing to take the cash to open their legs. Do not get emotionally involved with them. And while I would like to say that this applies to every single person, there are some guys, very few, who are smart enough and experienced enough who can deal with a prostitute because they know how to deal with them. They know the best way to talk to them, to deal with them, to handle them. But the vast majority of guys who come here on a short term, or they've just been here for a little while, or they're just not the most proactive of men, they don't know what to do. So they let the bar girl do whatever they want, and next thing you know, they're like, "Oh, baby, I love you. What am I going to do without you? I got to go back home. Please, don't do this to me. Tell me you love me. Don't work anymore in the bar. I'll give you money." Well, now, if they followed rule number 2, they probably wouldn't feel this way. And what is rule number 2? Very simple rule. It involves using your brain. Think with the big head, not the little one. Yes, that's rule number 2. And it's so simple. And yet, when the cock is hard, it becomes hard to think. All the blood goes into the little head, and the big head is just like a pumpkin sitting on a pair of shoulders. All right, number 3. Do not sponsor a ho, unless you are happy with having a business relationship. Now, as I said, those guys who are capable of getting involved with a bar girl, generally, they do not get emotionally involved. They might like the girl, they might have an affection for the girl, but they're not in love with them and saying, "I'm going to overlook your shortcomings, honey, and you're the girl of my dreams." It's a business relationship. That's the thing. Do not sponsor a whore unless you are happy with having a business relationship with them. Being a sponsor is something you will hear many women kind of on the fringe of the game or on the game talking about. It's like, hey, I'm not looking for a guy, I'm looking for a sponsor. That's a guy who's going to pay their way for everything. If you got plenty of cash, it's maybe not a big idea, a big deal. You just fork over the cash, they do what you want, you get what you want, they get what they want, and, everybody's happy. But that's not, generally you're not saying, "Oh, baby, I love you, I want to get married, you want to come back to America with me?" It doesn't happen. All right, now, rule number 4. If a woman is talking about how she needs money on the first few dates, chances are she's looking to do the George Jefferson. And by George Jefferson, if you've ever seen the Jeffersons, at the beginning of the Jeffersons, there is a song, and it's called "Moving On Up to the East Side." And when you do the George Jefferson, you start out with nothing and you move it on up. You're the golden ticket, the pot of gold at the end of a rainbow. And that's what the girl is looking to do. She wants to do a George Jefferson. Now, I don't know any comparable Thai names for George Jefferson. You know, I don't know, Somchai Johnson. I don't know. But, you know, the girl's looking to move up. So if some chick, it doesn't matter, well, I mean, if she's a whore, you should be paying her. Bottom line. If she's not a hoe, and she's just some girl you met, like, online or on, you know, you met her some other way. You saw her at the zoo and you smiled at her while she was looking at the chimpanzee, and the next thing you know, you're like, oh, can I have your phone number, honey? You're so cute. You're even cuter than the gorilla. And she says, yeah, okay, I'll buy that. All right, let's go out. And then in the first date, second date, she's like, oh, you know, I've got this job, but I no money. Doesn't pay me any money. I don't know what to do, but you know, this is my life. I don't care. I do what I can. And she's kind of like, you know, if I'm married, then okay, everything will be better because I have money. Because me and the man, we will have money together. And the man will take care of me. You have to take care of me. This is Thailand. You have to take care of me. Yeah, well, you know, okay, whatever. But, you know, unless that's what you want, unless you want to have the business relationship, first and foremost, then you need to say, fuck it. Sorry. Okay, that brings me to rule number 5, which, you know, if you decide to ignore the previous rule, which is, you know, you don't give money. You say, fuck it, I'm going to give some money. I'm going to help her out. I know she, you know, she needs some cash, and I'll throw her a little scratch, and you do that, then rule number 5 applies to you. If not, it doesn't apply to you. But if you're going to give some cash, if you decide to ignore the rule saying don't give them the cash, only give an amount that does not hurt you. If it hurts you to give her 10,000 baht, don't give her 10,000 baht. If you can only afford to give her 1,000, give her 1,000 baht and say, this is all I can afford to give. And don't fucking feel bad about it. Because you know what? The girls at this level, and I'm talking about the girls who are, you know, they're looking for a man to take care of them because they can't take care of themselves for whatever reason, whether they're an idiot, whether they have no education, whether they just ran into some bad luck or whatever it might be. You know, you don't want to be giving them your life savings. And some guys do, oh, I'll buy them a house and that'll be what they need. I'll just get them the house and then they'll be fine. No, they won't be fine, because guess what? You're going to get them the house, and they're going to go, Mama needs a car. She needs a truck. And by the way, we need furniture. We need a new bed, and we need this, and we need that. And you're like, well, yeah, we do need that. And the next thing you know, all your fucking money's gone. And then you're fucked. Now, that brings me to rule number 6. Don't buy into the bullshit. And by the bullshit, I'm actually talking about bullshit. Well, buffalo shit. Don't believe the buffalo died. Don't believe, oh, mama sick, daddy have heart attack, papa he run away, I have nobody, I nothing, mama, papa nothing, they poor farmer, oh, I don't know, what can I do? Don't buy into that horse shit. You know, I've had a chick tell me before that, oh, my baby, she's very sick, very sick. I'm like, fuck, I didn't even know you had a baby. You know, I've only banged you in the dark. I didn't really have a good chance to look. And your body is tight because you're only like 20 years old at the time. And, of course, I was like, wow, your baby's sick. And she was such a sweet girl. You know, this is when I had first come over, one of my first trips. And I'm like, okay, let me see. I said, hey, honey, I tell you what. Why don't you have the hospital fax me a copy of the bill and I'll pay the bill. Oh, no, cannot. Cannot. Oh, you mean you cannot because it's a bunch of fucking bullshit? Well, exactly. That's the bottom line. So a lot of times it's bullshit. Now, that brings me to number 7, which, you know, coincides. Because all these rules, they exist in harmony with one another. Number 7 is just because a woman cries poor does not mean you have to come to her rescue. You don't have to be the Captain Save-A-Ho. You don't have to do it. It's not necessary. Listen, there are a lot of poor people in the world, and not all of them are beggars. Okay? Not all of them are scammers out to get every penny you have or every penny they can get from you. It doesn't work that way. Okay? And everybody in Thailand is not poor. I had a guy the other day, it was like a day or two ago, write me and say, "Oh, I didn't know it was so expensive to live in Thailand. I thought you could live off of $1,000 or $1,500 a month." I said, "Well, you can live off of it, but you're not going to be living high on the hog. It's not like you're going to, if you're a single guy and you got a girlfriend, $1,000 is going to go very, very quickly. I mean, you could spend, say, 5 to 10 grand on an apartment. You spend 5 to 10 on groceries. And listen, one thing I always say is, who wants to eat street food every single day, every day of their life, or 6 days out of the week? Let me tell you something. I don't. I get sick of it. How many times are you going to have Kwit Teo? How many times are you going to have Pad Thai or Khao Pad or whatever, Khao Man Gai or Khao Kham Mu? How many times are you going to have the same old shit? After a while, you get sick of it. And you're just like, listen, I don't give a fuck if it's 50 baht or not. I'd rather spend a little bit more. And that's what happens. You see, you start to say, hey, you know what? I know I can take the bus, but damn it, I need to be there in a hurry. And I don't have time to sit on there and pay the bus 10 baht, when I can get in a taxi and pay 80 baht and get right to the door, and I don't have to walk. I don't have to sweat my balls off. After a while, you want some of the comforts again. And listen, maybe that's because I'm a little older. I understand when I was younger, I tried to, cut corners and everything, but anybody who's cutting the corners, most of the time, they're either cutting the corners because they feel comfortable doing so, or it's because they have to. Now, those who are comfortable doing so, they may be like, you know what, I'm not in any hurry, I don't have anything to do, fuck it, I don't care. But those people who are like, oh, I got to get to work, I got to do this, I got to do that, and maybe your work is 30 minutes away by taxi and an hour and 15 minutes away by bus, and you spent all night the previous night banging your girlfriend, and you're tired, and you wake up late, and you got a hangover. Oh, well, I guess I'll just jump into a taxi. All right, well, if you got the money, then that's good. If you don't have the money, guess what? You're screwed. Because you're going to be taking that hour and a 15-minute ride or hour and 30-minute ride, and you're going to be walking, sweating your nutsack off, trying to sweat that alcohol out, and you're going to feel like shit, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it because you don't have any money. This is the thing. So there are a lot of people who are living on the cheap, or who are what would be considered fairly poor or low income. But you see some of the bar girls, and they got gold, they got a nice shit, they got iPhone 6, or they got the Samsung Galaxy, this or that, and they've got mama and papa are building a new house, and then you're like, wow. This chick ain't really poor. It's not like she's starving. So that rule number 7, just because a woman cries poor does not mean you have to come to her rescue. Don't be a Captain Save-A-Whore, man, because that's what it is. And it doesn't really matter if she's a hoe or she's not. I mean, a hoe as in selling her ass. Or she's just a hoe because she's looking for a man to be her sugar daddy. Whatever. I mean, you can't fault them for doing that, but, that's the way it goes. So, something to think about. Now, I gotta pay some bills here. High Speed Thai. Yes, highspeedthai.com. It is a very nice program with videos and shit. And if you use the code AIB, you shall receive a discount. I believe it is 1,000 baht off of, which is something like 15% off of the total, something like that. I'll put a link to it with the podcast /video. High Speed Thai. It is a very good program using proven acquisition methods to help you learn Thai quickly and efficiently, and not only to speak Thai, but to read and write Thai. And believe me, if there's one thing I am very proud of, I mean, listen, my writing in Thai is kind of for shit. I mean, I can sign my name, I can write a few words here and there, maybe I can get lucky and guess every once in a while, because I just don't practice, because I'm a lazy fuck. But reading, over time I have learned to read the language, and for I would say I'm about 80% proficient, and I'm very proud of that, because it definitely helps you to speak the language better. Okay, so that's, hey, highspeedthai.com, or you can go to my website, and I'll have a link up, and I'll give you the code. It's AIB. Use that code, and you shall receive money off. You shall receive a discount. Also, listen, I'm going to start pushing the Amazon. Amazon. Everybody buys from Amazon. You're always buying shit from Amazon. Now, on my website, there is an Amazon, like the Amazon Books, and I believe there's some other stuff here and there throughout the site. But I'm going to put up a page, hopefully by the time this video, podcast goes up, and I'm going to have a page with all the ways that you can help me with my YouTube channel, with my website, with my expeditions, photo expeditions. I'm going to put the ways. Let me count the ways. And one of the ways is Amazon. Amazon is a proven and a very, there are many loyal Amazon followers, and Amazon is a trustworthy merchant. And if you click on the link that I give you, guess what? When you buy, I get a few cents on the dollar. You know, if you spend $100, I think I make like $4, maybe $5. If I'm lucky, I make $6. I make a couple cents on the dollar, and guess what? It doesn't cost you anything extra. So, you know, if you don't feel like giving me any money, well, I understand. You know, I mean, listen, hey, there's only so much money to give. You know, giving is, you want to get something back. But, okay, and finally, I got to go over this last one, Patreon, patreon.com/Scott Mallon, SCOTTMALLON. If you go there, you can sponsor my videos and podcasts, and you can do so with as little as $1 a month. You want to do $1 a video, then you can do $1 a video. I make like 8 to 10 videos a month, usually, sometimes 6. So, you know, maybe you cough up like $5, $10. You can do whatever you want. You can cap it as little as you want or as much as you want. So, you know, that's really good. And it definitely helps. Let me tell you, every little bit adds up, because I'm not in this to make the big dough. But I need to cover my expenses, and when I'm going to be traveling a lot more, and for numerous reasons, not only for me but for you. For those of you who are like at home and you're like, hey, one of these days I'm going to do what he's doing. I'm going to get out there and I'm going to go. I'm going to travel. I'm going to live in Thailand. I'm going to go to Nepal. I'm going to go to Cambodia. I'm going to go to Myanmar. I'm going to do all these things. Well, for now, you can live vicariously through me. Okay? And, you help me out a little bit. You know, every little bit helps. I mean, if I'm out in Cambodia somewhere and I need a cup of coffee and you've coughed up, $3 a month, guess what? You just bought me a cup of coffee, or you bought me a beer or whatever, and I really appreciate that. So, okay, now let's get back to the golden rules. 14 golden rules. Okay, number 8. Just because she isn't working as a whore doesn't necessarily mean that she is truly a good girl. You know, a bar or a massage parlor with happy endings, a soapy, or whatever it might be, a go-go, a beer bar, whatever. These are places that 99% of the girls in the places, 99.9, are available for a price. Girls on the street, girls in offices, girls in banks, girls in Pizza Hut, 7-Eleven, Starbucks, wherever it might be. A lot of them are not up for sale. But some of them, guess what? They are willing to do what is necessary. They want to hook up with a foreigner because they figure, hey, I'll be able to have, this is an additional income. All I got to do is bang him once in a while, give him the sweet eyes, a little smoochy smooch once in a while, and, his pecker's happy, and my kapao tang, which is my wallet, is happy also. So, beware of this. Just because, well, she's a good girl, she's a nurse. Let me tell you something, all right? I once knew a nurse. Of course, this is many years ago. I knew a nurse who I thought I was going to be banging in the very near future. I thought, wow, it ain't long. We're going to get together, and when we do, oh, yeah. Oh, yes, she will be mine. Oh, yes, I will be pounding that. Yes. And guess what happened? She said, oh, okay, let's go out. Oh, but by the way, you know what? I had something happen. I'm not sure I can go out. Can you help me? I said, well, I don't know. Well, what is your request? I need like 50,000 baht because I need to help my mother. She has a problem. I said, honey, you're earning 50K a fucking year. Shit, it flabbergasts me. That's how fucked up I am. I can't even think straight. You're earning 50K a month. 50,000 baht a month. She was a single girl. Okay? She worked at Bumrungrad Hospital. A very good hospital. And yet she had no money. Now, I don't know if she was coughing it up to the boyfriend. I don't know if she was using it on vaginal products. I don't know what she was doing. If she was saving up for fake titties. I don't know what it was. But it wasn't meant to be. Because when I heard that, I was like, what the fuck? Honey, you ain't getting shit out of me. Because although I haven't been here very long, I am smart enough to know by now that you ain't getting shit out of me. Because your pussy might be good, but it ain't. Once I come, guess what? I had it. I've been there. I done that. And I don't believe it's going to be good enough if this is the type of woman you are. Right away, we just are getting ready to go out for the first time, and you're hitting me up for what amounted at the time to somewhere around $2,000. Well, it was about $1,600, something like that. All right. Hey, lesson learned. Rule number 9. An internet relationship is an incomplete relationship. Get to know the girl in person and in her day-to-day interactions with others before professing your undying love. So many guys contact me. Well, I've known this girl for like a year now. We've been talking every day. And I'm like, so you haven't met her? No. So basically, she could have a little corner set up in her apartment where her boyfriend's shit is not showing. And her boyfriend is working in Kuwait or whatever the fuck he's doing. Or he's out, with his Mianoi or whatever the fuck it is. And she's just playing games. She's just out. Oh no, I'm a good girl. And I know, buddy, I don't have boyfriend. No. This is not me. I'm a good girl. I don't do this. And I'm looking for a good man, just like you. And I love you. Yeah, I love you already. It's only been 1 week. I don't know. I never had feelings like this before. Oh. And you buy into that shit, hook, line, and fucking sinker. This is what the women do. The older you get, the more you realize. There are women out there who intentionally throw the lure out. They're trying to get the big fish, and guess what? You come along. You may not be the biggest fish, but you're all right. You'll do. And you bite on that fucking hook, and you take the bait, and the next thing you know, she's reeling your ass in, and you got no control. And you know why? Because that little head between your fishy little thighs is doing the thinking, and that little pea brain between them fishy little eyes is not doing the thinking. Okay? With the internet, anybody can be anyone they want. And while, yes, there are some very genuine girls out there, and they're just out looking for somebody to be good to them, then, then guess what? It won't hurt you to wait and come see her. And don't just visit one time. And I know this means that, oh, I've got to go back and it's going to cost so much money. Yeah, it's going to cost you so much money, but guess what? If you fucking married a bitch and you bring her back to America and she fucking runs off on your ass, or she isn't who you think she is initially, guess what? It's going to cost you a hell of a lot more. So my suggestion for internet relationships, because this is the wave of the future for many people, and it's already being used, and I know there have been some successful relationships, so for those fucking trolls who feel the need to write me and say, hey, who the fuck are you? It's like some guy did today. Are you Dr. Phil? What the fuck, buddy? Who do you think you are? Go fuck yourself. Oh, really? Listen, don't even bother doing that, because you know what? I'm not even going to respond. In my head, I'm saying, fuck off, you chowderhead. And I'm banning your ass, and then guess what? You're going to have to fucking do it all over again if you want to try to fuck with me again. You're going to have your other Google account. You're going to be a little dickhead, a little fucking keyboard warrior who's attacking me. I don't give a fuck if you like me or not. This is the thing. I'm too old for that shit. I don't give a fuck anymore. I don't care. You don't want to like me? That's okay. I don't care. Okay? Maybe I don't like you because you're a douchebag. Okay? So it doesn't matter to me. But I'm entitled to my opinion. And I never said I was Dr. Phil or Dr. Ruth or fucking Oprah or any of these fuckheads. Okay? I don't have a degree into therapy or psychology or psychiatry. I'm just a dude who has enough experience to know that when I was a young man, I was a bit of a douche myself, a little bit of a pussy who needed a little more ball hair before I really started making my way through the world with women. I did pretty well when I was young. All things considered, I did very well. Much better than most guys, and much better. Understand something. This is 30 years ago. 25 years ago. There are a lot of guys out there, they look at me and, oh, you're an old man. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, do you ever see somebody like Marlon Brando when he was old? Or look up William Klein. He's a photographer. This motherfucker's like 80, or better yet, look up Don McCullen. He's the picture of class. William Klein's a little racier. And he used to bang all the supermodels walking on the catwalk, and now he lives in Paris. He's a fucking old man. He's still got plenty of game. I don't know if, his tool still works. But, these guys, they're still old. They're old now. I mean, they're old men. But guess what? When they were young men, look up David Bailey, another photographer, a British photographer. These are guys who, when they were young, man, they were getting the best of the best. Now, I'm not saying I ever got the best of the best. I have had a couple of hotties in my life. And then I've had, here and there I've had a pig or two. And Teddy G, if you're listening, don't bring her up. But there's one in particular that me and my buddy always joke about. But she was a nice girl. Just a little bigger than I like them. But I won't get into that anymore. Let's see, where was I? Yeah. Oh, okay. And getting back to number 9, this is about the internet dating. One thing is that if you are going to come to Thailand, don't come specifically to see her. Oh, God, she's the girl of my dreams. I'm going to spend $2,500 to go stay 2 weeks in Thailand. Oh, my God. You know what? Here's what you do. Tell her you're coming 3 days after you actually arrive. That gives you 3 days to settle in, to check things out and say, wow, hey, this is what it's about. Tell her you can spend 5 days with her. You hang out with her for 5 days. And then you say, listen, I got a friend or two I got to see. And, how about I say goodbye to you the last couple of days? And what that does is it gives you a little time away from her after she's seen you. And if things are really hot and heavy, it gives you some time to think. And it gives you some time to talk with others. And then 1 or 2 days before you leave to fly back home, wherever it might be, if you haven't slept with her yet, which if she's a really good girl, she might not have slept with you. She may have said, hey, I like you, but I want to see where this goes. I want to see, I want to get to know you a little bit better. Maybe she'll cave in or whatever, and she'll go, I missed you the last couple of days. I really like you. I'm going to give you my body because I just want to be close to you, and I want us to have this together and to remember and whatever. All right? But get to know Thailand on your own without this woman that you may say is the girl of your dreams, and get to know her in her day-to-day interactions before professing your undying love. And take more than one trip before you say, I'm going to bring you back to America. I miss you so much. You're the love of my life, darling. Don't do that shit. Okay, please. I got old guys writing me, telling me they're doing this shit. Young guys. It's fucking ridiculous. When you really sit down and think about it, it's fucking ridiculous. And you know why it's ridiculous? Because you don't know what the fuck they're saying. Look for women. Yeah, this is number 10. Look for women who have jobs, preferably good ones, or who are attempting to build a future on their own. In other words, they don't need you to support them. All right. It's as simple as that. And that means you don't want one that is like, well, she supports herself. She works in the Rainbow Bar. No, that's not what I mean. Okay? Use your head. Think with the big head again. Number 11, if the woman you are dating ever makes a serious threat against you, I'm going to call the police. I'm going to get my brother's friends, he's in immigration, to beat your ass. I'm going to, just so, you know what, I think that our relationship was good while it lasted, but I think it's over. Bye. Fuck off. Have the balls to do that. And don't believe what she says about, oh, I'm going to get you thrown in jail. You're going to be here forever. You're going to pay me big money. Or you're fucked. Sorry. Bail on her. Leave her. Tell her to fuck off. Actually, don't tell her to fuck off. But just say, you know what? I think it's time for me to go. I'm going home. It's been lovely. It's been fun. Thanks for letting me get in there, if you know what I mean. Bye-bye. All right. Number 12. Remember your own culture. Don't buy into the whole, this is Thailand, this is how we do it. Well, you know, there are a lot of things that they would like you to do. But that doesn't mean that you have to do them. And one is, you don't have to buy them a 5-baht gold chain. You don't have to buy Mama an Isuzu pickup. You don't have to build a house for them. You don't have to provide sinsod. All this is horse shit. And you know why? Because you are the one in control of your funds. And what about your culture? Hey, what about me? You know what I mean? Like, even my kids know this phrase. What about me? Hey. I mean, you know, you got to remember this shit. What about me? Don't forget yourself. So remember your own culture. Number 13. Very related. You are responsible for opening and closing your wallet or your bank account, or making the bank transfer, or sending a Western Union. Women do not forcibly take money from men. Usually women are not beating your ass, grabbing the wallet out of your back pocket saying, hey, motherfucker, I want my money. That's not how they work. Those women who are interested in a man's money usually do so by coercion. Coercion. They seduce you and make you feel like a puddle of mush, and then you can have it all, honey. Yeah, right. Okay. Sure. Be aware of that. Okay. You are the man. You're responsible. Number 14. If you are unsure of someone's gender who you are attempting to swoop on, attempting to get their phone number and date, if you're unsure, if you're like, gosh, they look good, but something's not right. I wonder if maybe they're... Guess what? It's time to move on to the next one. And that means move on to a woman, not a chick with a dick, or a chick who used to be a dude with a dick. I mean, unless you're into that kind of thing. Okay, that's all I'm going to say on this one. Just, if you're not into that, be careful. You'll learn to tell the signs, and even then, once in a while, you might get fooled, at least from a distance. But once you get close, and, it's a little easier. All right, now, I'd only planned to do 14 of these, but I got 2 bonus ones, because I forgot them. because I'm always flying by the seat of my pants. Number 15 is be a man. And by be a man, I mean be a man. Have some balls. Don't be worried. Don't be scared to stand up. If you have this women's intuition shit going on inside you, don't be scared to speak up. If she really loves you, believe me, she'll understand or she'll get over it. And sometimes you just got to go, hey, I'm saying what I want to say. I don't give a shit if they like it or not. Okay? Because you got to be a man sometimes. And what that also means is, when you say to the woman, oh, where do you want to go out to dinner tonight? Up to you. It doesn't mean, oh, come on, honey, where do you want to go? They're saying up to you because guess what? They don't want to fucking make the decision. You're the man, make the damn decision. And then be strong enough if she bitches and moans about your decision, say, you should have made this decision yourself. Shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear you whining and bitching. Be the man. Stand up. And, you can say it in a polite way. You don't have to use my terminology, whining and bitching. You don't have to say that. But you should stand up and say, hey, listen, you asked a question. I answered it. And now you don't like the answer. Well, if you didn't like the answer, you should have said something when I answered initially. Okay? Get over it. Let's move on, honey. The other thing is, if you're going to make sure that when I say be the man, I mean, don't be selfish in the sack. And I know some guys are going to go, what? Come on, man. Oh, man. But you know what? I know that there are some men, because women have told me, that are extremely selfish. They just want the woman to do everything. They want to lay on their back, or, they want the chick on their knees, or whatever it might be. And, sometimes that's all right. It's give and take. Give and take, baby. You want some? Okay, that's no problem. But hey, I got to get some too. But, bottom line is, if you are going to have sex with them and it's not a purely business relationship, even if it is, you ought to make sure that you do your best to get them off, to make them happy. Okay? It's that simple. Be the man means be the man. This ain't America. You don't have to worry about all this bullshit, women complaining about the fucking toilet seats and all that other kind of garbage. It ain't going to happen. Be the man. All right. Last but not least, and I've said this many times before, number 16, learn the frickin' language before you get into a serious relationship. I'm not saying you can't, meet some nice girl from the bank who took your money this morning and made a deposit and you can't nail her. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is don't get serious and say, okay, let's go see mama and papa. Let's go and see them. Why don't we do that, honey? And I'll tell them I love you so much and that we're going to be married soon. No, let's not do that, okay? Because you don't even know what... You could go there and they're fucking going, how much has the guy got? How much is he worth? Does he got big money? Listen, one of my best buddies, a guy I've known for many, many years, I met him on one of my first trips to Thailand. One thing he said to me is, he said, just understand something. That if you ever bring them in your house, and by them I'm talking about a little hoe or a chick who's looking to do the George Jefferson, as in rule number, where is it? Which rule was that, doing the George Jefferson? Number 4. Where they're talking about money. If you go somewhere and they're talking, and mama and papa are talking about how much money that the girl can get, their daughter can get out of you, and you don't know it. You don't know if she's doing the George Jefferson. I mean, really. So it pays to learn at least some of the language. What really is important is that you can comprehend a fair amount of the language. You don't have to be able to speak the language great to communicate with them, and you don't have to understand everything. But you need to know more than how much go straight, go left. Okay? And even if she speaks English, that's not going to help you. Because it could help you. If she's a genuine girl, and she's a nice girl, and you're somewhere and you're talking to somebody, or they're talking, she will be, I'll tell you what. When I first met my wife, she spoke fairly good English because she had studied for a couple of years already in university and in school, and And her English was okay. It was decent. All right? And my Thai was okay. It was decent. So we could get along. And when we would go out with her friends, there was one in particular who is a very good friend of hers, who we both have known for many years. Now, my wife has known her since she was a little girl. I've known her as long as I've known my wife. The girl speaks almost no English. Now she speaks a little bit more because time has passed and she's picked up some different words and phrases. But when I met her, she spoke almost no English. So my wife and her would be speaking in Thai. And I'm trying to listen to everything. And there were words I wouldn't understand. And I'd be, and you feel like a jacket. Oh, what did you just say? You could say, hey, what's that word? I didn't understand that word, or whatever. But if they're really polite, they will try to include you in the conversation, even though you might not comprehend their language very well. Now, if there's some Isan slut, no offense to Isan women, because I know there are a lot of good Isan women who want to work their ass off and they just want a good man, not a good man who's going to throw them a shitload of cash or let it plant the tree that it falls off of. But if there's some Isan slut or slut period, and I don't mean slut like she just likes sex, I'm talking about slut for cash, then they might be, mama and grandma and grandpa and her, your girl, might be discussing what they can do to get the most money out of you and how much you should give for sinsod. And you're like going, wow, 600,000 sounds like a hell of a lot. I mean, she's got 3 kids, and I know she's been divorced 3 times. So, gosh, why is it so much? Oh, well, she's a very smart girl. Really, she wasn't fucking smart in love. I'll tell you that. Unless she's getting the fucking alimony from each of these guys, which in most cases ain't gonna happen. So, yeah. So anyway, you got to know the language, man. It really does help. It's like I always say, it's adding another tool to the toolbox. Okay. So that's all I got. That's 16 rules to remember, and remember them. At least remember some of them. If if your memory gets jolted by something that I said when you're talking to some girl, whatever, it might save your ass. I mean, then again, it might not. And, hey, I know plenty of you out there ain't going to listen to me, but then there are some who are smart and who think, hey, yeah, well, that's a pretty good idea. Maybe I should do that. Well, you're damn right. You're damn right. Because these rules are golden, baby. Especially don't get emotionally involved with a hooker. And for all those guys out there who married hookers, good for you. But what I'm saying is the vast majority of guys are going to end up getting fucked out of their money, end up with a broken heart. And, this comes from me who, I had my little mini love affairs like I've said before. I've had my little mini love affairs, my mini lust affairs, my little run around time with some of the girls. But none of them really ever broke my heart or ruined my life or anything like that. So it's not like I'm bitter. I'm not bitter at all. I got nothing against them. And more power to them for doing what they can with very little. But as men, I think some men just need to stand up and be fucking men. What rule is that? That's rule number 15. Be the man. You got to be the man. Okay? And if you get emotionally, I personally think, why are you going to aspire to be with some woman who her aspirations are to make a shitload of money from selling her twat? I don't know. I mean, like I say, I don't hold anything against them, and I think that if that's what they want to do, and that's what the only thing that they can do, or if they can make any serious money from, then okay, whatever, good for them. But I think that, if you're some guy who's a banker, or you're a stockbroker, or you're an attorney, or something like that, it's one thing to help your girl out a little bit, because she's in university and she's strapped for cash and she's got it tough and she's a wonderful woman, and you're throwing her $5,000 or $10,000 a month or something. I mean, come on. If you got the money, like I said, it doesn't hurt. That's not a big deal. But if you're some guy who's going off half-cocked, falling in love with some girl you met at 3 o'clock in the morning, and at 3:30 you've got your dick inside of her, you might want to think again. Okay? So that's all I got. Until next time, I'm Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. Chok di la jerken mai.